So Lizzie, in your session, you described getting social media okayed by your legal team. What was your secret?
There is really no secret. It truly is consultative sales 101. It's starting with the basics. It's the same thing, you would do with leadership. The first thing you're going to do is fact-finding, setting up meetings, and not necessarily sharing what you want to do in your full marketing social media strategy, but asking questions and understanding what's their knowledge base. Are they participating in social media? Do they understand social media? And also understanding what are their biggest concerns? What are the red flags? Which leads into the second step, which is actually to educate them. So it's taking everything you learned in step one and then gearing your conversation back to them and educating them. So not only have you been educated in your fact finding, now you're educating them and you're walking them through. Based on what they told you, you're walking them through whether it's, hey, this is what a social media message board is versus a blog, here's the differences. But make sure you do your homework, and before you take them to any sites, make sure that there's going to be no red flags that they'll see on the site. So before you walk in that meeting, make sure you've already gone to those sites and seen if there's any danger zones that you want to stay away from. Step 3 is really customizing the language for the audience. When it comes to any organization or any industry, there's always those words you're not allowed to say. From an insurance perspective, we can't use advice, we don't recommend. So I would never utilize those terms in talking to legal. So just make sure you know what terms you can use and what they're comfortable with. The next is, and this is only if you have to, walk before you run. Sometimes you kind of got to give up a couple things in order to get some of your strategy out the door. That's okay, because the next step is you're going to prove it back to them, communicating consistently, enhancing what you're doing, and then repeat the process. So when we first did our first message board in social media at Allstate, the first thing we did, every week we'd go sit down with legal and we'd say, see, there's no big red flags, there's nothing to worry about. And then within a month we were asking for things that we had given up previously. And they were okay because we had built that partnership and that relationship, and they knew that they could trust that what they told me I could or couldn't do, I wouldn't push them on it. So again, no secret sauce, it's just working in tandem with your partner.
Were there situations with either legal or senior management where you were able to lead them into a discussion where rather than getting them to try to buy into your ideas, you got them to come up with the ideas themselves and get ownership of the idea?
Yeah, it's managing by influence. It's leading, them to the water and letting them drink it. And you know what? That's okay. Because bottom line, you got what you went in for. You got what you needed to get the job done.